Hi everyone, I'm here to do the weekly pregnancy update. Today I am 9 weeks, 3 days pregnant, um, and this week the baby is growing to be the size of a prune. So going from being a green olive to being a prune, which is about an inch and a half long. So that's pretty exciting, really starting to pick up the growing speed and, getting to be not big yet, but, bigger. So that's exciting. This week there have been a lot of ups and downs to the week. And I finally feel like I have gotten to a more stable point. The morning sickness continued to be, kind of the biggest issue. Computer's gonna fall. It continued to be like the biggest issue that I was having, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try some stuff and see if I can figure out something that will help to alleviate it somewhat. Because so I have prescription nausea medications, and I feel like so I've been taking them for years and years and years, and I feel like their effectiveness has kind of diminished to some extent. I've gotten kind of used to them or whatever. So, those were not really even helping. And, I was throwing up every few days, and it just was not fun. So, I looked online, and I had heard before of people taking B6 to help with morning sickness, and, kind of researched that, and ended up deciding to go on the combination that a lot of people have had success with of B6 and Unisom. Which, if you're not familiar with Unisom, it's basically an antihistamine that's marketed as a sleep aid. And, I could use help sleeping too, so it seemed like a good thing to try and, really safe and something that I could do kind of on my own. So I started on those on Monday, and let me tell you, it has made such a huge difference. I don't even, it's hard to believe how much of a difference it's made. On Tuesday morning, I had only, I think, taken 2 doses of the B6. I'm taking it 3 times a day, and then taking the Unisom at night. And, so I'd only taken 2 doses of the B6, but I woke up on Tuesday morning and just felt so much better than how I, was waking up other mornings up until then. So it's just been amazing, and it's continued. I have not been throwing up. I'm able to eat better, much better. So that's great. I don't know if it's really just the B6 and I don't really need the Unisom or what, but the Unisom is also helping me sleep. So I'm gonna continue taking that for now, and so I'm hoping that in the next 3 to 4 weeks or thereabouts, the morning sickness will start to lessen, and as I get in closer and into the second trimester, it'll get better. But I'm going to stay on the B6 at least until then and see how it goes. So that's great. I'm so happy about that. It's made it so that I'm able to actually be up and about and doing stuff. Still not really doing what I was doing pre-pregnancy, but doing a lot more than I have been able to do over the last, month and a half. So that's fantastic. Other than that, my symptoms this week have been kind of the same, not really anything new. I'm still having headaches, although they're not too bad and they're not that frequent. I have, fatigue, although I'm able to not really be taking naps, and I just end up kind of crashing around 9 o'clock at night. And I get tired in the afternoon, but just most days not really able to take a nap. And my dysautonomia symptoms, which I've talked about before, feeling dizzy and lightheaded, and just having other problems while standing up and stuff like that has still been an issue. I'm really trying to be good about getting my IV fluids in every day, and for the most part I've been doing pretty well about that. So yeah, so that's manageable. It just requires a little more downtime than I had previously needed. Not a whole lot as far as food stuff goes. I mean, with the morning sickness being better, I'm able to eat a lot better, which is great. One of the things that I've been eating a lot, which is kind of weird for me, is I'll make a fried egg and make toast and like eat the egg on top of the toast, which is not something that I have ever really done before, and eggs tend to not really sit well on my stomach, so it's just been interesting that that's been kind of one of my staples. And then I'm continuing to eat apples. They're like more or less the only fruit or vegetable that I can really handle at this point. I have a really hard time with vegetables. I've managed to eat some salads here and there, but for the most part I just don't want to have anything to do with vegetables. Even like the smell of them is too much, and yeah, so I'm not eating a lot of really healthy necessarily, although I mean I'm not eating unhealthy stuff. So yeah, and yeah, and I also am just really not wanting to have anything to do with any kind of meat. Like I already don't eat really red meat or pork, but I really don't want even chicken or anything like that. So it's been kind of a challenge to figure out exactly what I do want to eat or can eat, but I feel like I'm figuring it out, and now that I'm able to be up and about a little bit more, I'm able to go out to the store and kind of, you know, pick out things that look good to me, and that's helping. The only other piece of news is that I went and had kind of a consultation appointment at the birth center that I want to use. I went yesterday afternoon. Eric went with me, and it was basically an opportunity to bring them the records that I have from the maternal fetal specialist, so that they would have those and anything else that I thought might be helpful, which basically was not very much. And just have a chance to sit down, go over that with them, talk about it, talk about my history, you know, talk about whether or not it seems safe and feasible for me to be in their care and to give birth there. So overall, I feel like it went well, but we still don't have an answer. And I think both Eric and I are getting frustrated at how long it's taking, but I feel like we're really close to having it figured out. Basically, how it ended up is they're going to get in touch with the maternal fetal specialists themselves, and this is a doctor that they refer people to. So they know him relatively well, and I mean, he's a great doctor. I really liked him. And basically, you know, ask him for his final, you know, yes or no, is it safe for me to be out of the hospital? And if he says it's fine, then, you know, they'll get kind of a rundown on any specific extra things that they should do, any extra testing they should plan on doing. They did talk with me about potentially doing an early gestational diabetes test, because I have had a history of some hypoglycemic stuff, but basically, like, so that they'll have a good idea of anything extra that they should be aware of. If he says no, that in his opinion it's not safe, then unfortunately they're going to have to, you know, not accept me, and I'll have to go and find a hospital, which I've been researching today, and I have options, but it would be disappointing to have to go that route. So I'm hoping for, you know, good word back on that. I should hear by mid next week, I would guess, about that. So that's what's going on, and I will update again next week. Hope you're all doing well. Bye.